we felt it would give us the best access to the strongest possible group of senior insurance decision makers.
InsurTech Insights is a must-do conference, I think, for the network that is built here.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining today for the talk. I'm Harry, Sales Manager at SalesScreen. We're a gamification software company, and we motivate employees to achieve their goals. So some hard-hitting facts to start with. 25% of insurance professionals are expected to retire within the next 3 years, and 55% of the global workforce is now millennials and Gen Z. For the first time, we're going to have 5 generations working together in the workforce. What does this mean? It means by 2030, tech-savvy millennials will be your 75% of your workforce. And what this means is we need to find a way of attracting those people into insurance and retaining them for a long time as well. So today I'll be talking about employee engagement strategies and how you can engage and empower your team with gamification. So to start with, looking more into employee engagement, these are results from a study by Gallup. They have run for many years surveys into employees and what motivates them. They found that high engagement business units are likely to see significantly higher employee well-being, as well as higher productivity, profitability, and sales than low engaged teams. Engaged teams had less turnover and absences. Engaged teams had high sales and productivity, and they were more profitable and had thriving employees. So here's also an overview on what that study also found is that employees that had engaged managers were more engaged. So what we're helping companies do is to focus on empowering and engaging their managers, which will then lead to more engaged employees. And a lot of this is around how do you do that. So goal setting is really important, regular feedback, and promoting accountability. This clicker, there we go. So more about gamification. So it's all about adding game-like elements to work. You might be familiar with softwares like Duolingo. So they are using gamification already. They're rewarding you for studying languages every day. They know that behavior is going to lead to you learning a language quicker. And we do this for your sales and customer service and claims teams by rewarding behaviors you want to see from them to make sure they feel rewarded and engaged at work. But it's not that simple. We have to consider that within every team you have different personalities and people are motivated by different things. And what you can see now is an overview of a study by Richard Bartle, who's a scientist, looked into gamers and what motivated them. And if we think more of sales, we think most salespeople are hyper-competitive, and that's what we'd class as a killer. They're motivated by beating other people. But in reality, not every person is like that in a sales team. You have your achievers. They are motivated by hitting their targets, exceeding their targets. But if you put them in a competition, they don't care as much about beating other people. Explorers, they love finding new pathways to do their job, often motivated by qualifications, winning badges, points. And socializers, we hear often that the new generation are more within this section. They love feedback from their managers and their colleagues. They also are motivated by team wins and team target achievements. So where companies fail is when they focus on one type of these people, and it's often the killers. Your sales leaders were probably hyper-competitive when they were individual contributors, and then they get into leadership because they're one of the top performers, and sometimes they'll then focus on competitions that would have motivated them, but then you miss out on all these other player types. So really, for a fully engaged and high-performing team, you need to motivate everyone with different personalities. And if we think about how we do this, so we focus on 5 key pillars. And you'll see that visualization's in the middle here. Particularly in insurance companies, we find they're still using spreadsheets, they're updating results ad hoc, they're not as live as people crave. If you think about your new employees, they've grown up with social media, they're getting instant feedback, they're using technology, but they're deprived of this in some organizations when they're only seeing how they perform once a day, once a week, sometimes longer periods. And then that links in with all of the other elements. So competing, having competition is a great way to get people to be motivated and work harder. Rewarding those behaviors you want to see. You know, you have your salary, but think about what other prizes can you give? How can you keep those people engaged? Celebrating wins. This is a really powerful one. Not only celebrating top performers, but if you think about, you know, a middle performer often making up 60% of your workforce, we want to make sure they feel recognized when they're working hard and they're doing their best to move up that leaderboard. But often they're missed. It's very hard if you have a large team to recognize every individual in your business. And of course, coaching to make sure you're training your team in an effective way. And on to a little bit more on the middle performer impact. So this is an analysis of over 10,000 competitions ran using SalesScreen software. And you can see that the top performers, their KPIs increased on average by 17% during the competition, and the middle performers 61%. And that's a huge untapped potential often in most sales and staff in general. If you can find a way to motivate them, they're going to be happy, they're going to perform better, and they're going to stay in the business for longer. So here's a few examples from the system here today as well. So we're a software system, and we bring data in from your CRM and dialing systems, and then we present it over 3 different ways. So within your call centers and contact centers, we have TV screens up. We also have a mobile phone app, and we have a way of accessing this on a browser as well. So really important for hybrid working, remote employees. It's been a huge challenge to keep them engaged, keep them interactive and feeling recognized. So we can do that with this way of surrounding them in what's going on across the business. And of course, when they're in the office, a lot of companies want people back in the office as much as possible. But you need something to motivate them to come into the office. And this is one way of doing it, by making a really fun and engaging atmosphere. Moving on to some of the more specific features, we have a way of helping you to visualize your sales and customer service KPIs in a more easy to digest way. And if we think about motivating people, you see here that stat. So 46% of insurance agents said team goal setting makes them feel connected. So finding a way to make sure that the team can see how they're performing in a collective as well. Competition, so we're not only thinking of head-to-head competitions, we're thinking how can the team compete together to win? How can you reward individuals in the team? So we have, on the left here, you can see the achievement feature. So this will actually allow you to give individuals instant recognition if they hit their targets, if they hit a certain number of their KPI in a day or a week or a month, or even if they just do better today versus yesterday, they're automatically going to get that recognition and pat on the back. And this is shared across the whole organization as well. And if we think in competition specifically, we often think of like the winner-takes-all style competitions. But if we want to engage every personality type and every performance level in your team, we need to be more creative. We need to run competitions that have the element of chance and pick a random winner, or team-focused competitions. And with our tool, we have over 10 different styles to choose from to help you do that. And as I said, celebrating wins. So we surveyed insurance reps. They said 53% of them said that the celebration of winning individually or as a team keeps them motivated. And we do that in a variety of ways. In the office, you can see here a celebration popping up. You can choose your own YouTube video to pop up on the screen in the office. And when you're working from home, we have a live feed similar to social media, focused on really recognizing individual or team wins that way as well. And then reward as well. So you're probably familiar with this type of solution from different apps you use where you can win coins to buy prizes. So we've implemented that into sales and customer service teams. So when they hit their goals, they get rewarded with coins, and they can choose exactly what prizes they want to buy from a company. And then when we think more about how do we train staff, here's an example of a scorecard. So you can set weighted KPIs and get a clear overview on performance for a traffic light system of different color coding. So managers can really understand who needs support in what area in an easy to digest, understandable way. And just to share a story from one of our customers that's been working with us, so Acrisure, they've had a lot of success with gamification. They're looking for a way of leveling up their whole sales team, and they ran a 3-phase program dedicated to training a sales-focused, they had 3 phases. One of them was a training program. Secondly, they got the whole team together into an off-site to really promote this new behaviors they want to see. And then they applied this to the real world. They used SalesScreen to help keep those behaviors long-lasting, reward them when they're actually in real life and doing it day to day. That was a real challenge for them previously, is maintaining the learnt behaviours for a long time. They've managed this with SalesScreen, 45% year-on-year growth in revenue, and it just shows the impact of a people-first approach when it comes to these type of incentives focused on motivation, recognition, and coaching people as well. So we're here today, we're actually just over there. We've got our stand and we can show you some more examples of the platform. We've got a golf competition, so you can win some prizes as well. We are a gamification company, so we had to have some kind of fun competition running. So really, thank you so much for joining and hope to speak to you over the next couple of days.